say, but enjoy the view. I'll say what I have to say. You know you can't pull one out of your ass any day of the week. You know you got to stick to the program, you got to do everything perfectly, and then maybe you'll PR, right? So it's a different game, and no doubt training off cycle is more difficult.
PR lifestyle is more than just hitting a PR in the squat, bench, or deadlifts. A PR could be going a week without skipping a meal. It's about being the best version of yourself, always improving.
Come on, somebody out there sitting working harder than you. No! Somebody working harder than you. Hurry up! Let's go! Somebody will outwork you. Somebody outwork you right now.
You versus you.
Welcome back to the channel. Here we have the best bodybuilding gym in Dubai with my fiance, Shayla. Okay, today I'm going to be teaching her how to squat, but above and beyond that as well, I'm going to be doing a squat AMRAP. So I'm going to do a few sets with like 70-80% of my 1RM training max. Then I'm going to hit an AMRAP after that, between 5 to 8 reps, see where I'm at. I still have several more weeks of training before I get to test my TRT 1 max on the squat, bench, and deadlift. Can't wait for that, and then I'll do a comparison of my strength after a 12-week prep on TRT versus an on-cycle prep. That'll be very interesting. With that said, let's get to work.
I'm ready.
She's ready. For those who are unfamiliar with powerlifting, this is a Texas squat bar. It can be identified by looking at the edge of the sleeve here in this inner circle. Above and beyond that, it can be seen that's a Texas squat bar, or a squat bar can be from another brand, but all squat bars for powerlifting have the same thing in common. They're thicker, right? To have more stability when you have more weight on the bar. Powerlifters are frequently seen doing 1 maxes, having more weight than any other sport on the bar. And when there's any flex in the bar, it's going to create instability, making the squat harder. So for that reason, they made it thicker. And to accommodate for bigger lifters, powerlifters typically are very large human beings, and we can't comfortably get into position here, and most racks are pretty narrow for us. Sorry, not narrow, but they're not made for extra large human beings like powerlifters or strongmen. So me and many others like to grip outside the rack, okay? So I like to grip out here. With a standard bar, it's going to end up right around here, and you have to grip inside the rack. So the reason you've seen me using a safety squat bar these past few weeks is because only just now, for this gym Benos, did I get a proper squat bar that I can grip comfortably. If you grip inside, for example, with a regular bar, and you don't have the adequate shoulder mobility to do so, you're going to end up having your elbows shoot up, and your back going to round forward, and you're going to... What's up? Got behind the body in the background. It's good, man. How are you? And you're gonna have a very high likelihood of injuring your back. So this is the best bar for powerlifting, for heavy squats. Now I'm gonna teach her how to squat like a powerlifter because she cares about how big her booty is, I care about how big her booty is, and I believe low bar powerlifting style squats are the best squat variation for building a big booty. It is very posterior chain dominant. So how most people who first come to the gym learn how to squat is like a bodybuilder style, right? Which is where they place the bar very high up on their traps, okay? And there's a lot of knee travel forward, which puts a lot of emphasis on the quads, and not so much on the glutes, okay? So we're going to be squatting with emphasis on the whole posterior chain and the back, glutes, hamstrings, okay? What that means, we're gonna have the bar a bit placed differently than we were used to having it, which is gonna be along here, as opposed to right on top. Yeah, so it's gonna be, move it out the way, along here, like you make a shelf with your back. Yep, it's gonna be kind of right on top of your rear delt, right along here. Usually you wanna have the bar, as you've been taught, I'm assuming, is up here, okay? So we're not doing that today. And first thing is, we're gonna get under the bar. Okay, so here's the first thing. If you're struggling trying to make that transition from high bar to low bar, the first common mistake is the rack, right? So, okay, first you have it a bit too low, a bit higher, a bit lower. Yeah, and then you're gonna wanna tilt forward a bit. Yeah, so you don't wanna unwrap the bar being too upright. It's just gonna slide off your back, okay? So I want you to look at me, right? Not here, but here. And when you stand up with the bar, don't stand up like this, okay? Stand up just like this. Stay hunched over. Yeah, do that again. Yeah. If you stand up straight, it's gonna roll off your back, okay? Think of that. So when you stand up, just stand up with your legs, not with your back. Yeah. You're even still a bit too upright. Lean forward a bit more. Exactly, just like that. Perfect.
And legs should be the same.
Legs should be a bit wider than shoulder width. Let's try with that. Let's start there. And when you're locking out your squats or low bar squats, you're gonna have to get into the habit of not straightening up your back too upright. You're gonna want to stay hunched over. Exactly. You're thinking about keeping the bar in the middle of your foot. Like, think of that line. Yeah, and then start the movement, not with your knees, but with your hips. So with your back, create a shelf here, okay? And elbows down and forward. That's right. But start the movement with your hips. Yes. Yeah, start the move with your hips. There should be very little knee travel forward. And think about keeping the load on your feet in the middle of your foot, not on your heels. If you keep it on your heels, you're going to lose balance, and your hips are going to shoot too far back. It is a 25 kg bar, so Texas squat bars or squat bars in general for powerlifting are heavier by about 5 kg on average. There are some that weigh as much as 30 kg. So I'll demonstrate myself, and you see what I'm talking about. You're here, right? The low bar squat. Right on top of your rear delts, and when you unrack, you're staying hunched over. You don't want to do that. You don't want to rack it like this. It's going to fall off your back. Okay? So you're staying under the bar, hunched over a bit, okay? And you're standing up just with your legs, not with your back. You're walking out. Same back position. You're not starting to move with your knees like this, but with your hips. And as you lock out the squat, same thing. You don't want to be from here and then go here. It's going to fall off your back, right? You're just starting from here, right? As you're getting to the finish, the only thing that's getting locked out is your legs, not your back. Your back is staying in the same position from start to finish. You can drive up with your back, but don't drive back with your back. Yeah, try one more time. Right. Yeah, grab inside to get good mobility in the shoulders. Nice and tight contraction here, creating a nice strong shelf. Elbows forward, okay? Forward.
For me to hold it like this wide, I feel like it's...
You want to hold it closer? Yeah. That looks better. Your back looks more strong as well that way. Elbows forward. Yep, contract your back and elbows forward, babe. Yeah, exactly. That's right. Start with the hips. With the hips. With the hips, and keep the balance on your midfoot, not your heels. And look straight ahead, but slightly up. So you want to keep your head straight, but look up. You're looking down. So head straight.
I'm losing balance when I'm looking straight.
Sorry?
I'm losing balance when I'm looking straight.
take some practice. You don't want to look down, right? You want to keep your head straight, but then keep your eyes up. Okay? Eyes up, eyes up. Eyes up. Eyes up. Pick something on the mirror for them to look at. Anything.
Losing balance.
That's because you've been squatting all this time looking down. So making that transition will take some practice. Getting that movement pattern dialed in.
I'm trying to focus on too many things.
Yeah, see, it's just going to take practice before it becomes instinct to do all these
Yeah,
things.
I'm thinking first start with your hips. Look straight. It's hard.
Yeah. So one session won't cut it, guys. One session won't cut it. But most important thing, there's a lot of most important things with having a really good squat, but the most common mistake would be the unrack, okay? And I've seen a lot of failed squats and squat accidents happen because of the unrack. So I'll demonstrate that one more time. Big no-no. Don't want to do a low bar squat and stand straight up. That's just the biggest mistake you can make. As long as you unrack it properly, the only accident that will happen will be if you just can't get the weight up and you have to bail, right? But if you have the bar too low on your back or you're not unracking it properly, it's just gonna slide right off. So that is my favorite squat movement, squat variation to build you up to your posterior chain. Not only for aesthetic reasons, but also for strength and power.
Yeah. When I used to squat, I used to do more lower squat, but I haven't done that in a year and a half. So.
Yeah, you know, and you look at most powerlifters across the board have big hamstrings, big booty, right? And that's from doing low bar squats and deadlifts. Yeah. So it's a lot for one day, for one session. You know, if you want a refresher, I'm always here.
I know. I'll leave you now to squats and I'm going to do something else and then we'll do different exercises.
Okay, so we're briefly gonna part ways and then we're gonna rejoin after I finish my squats with some more booty stuff. Go ahead, back. After training with a safety squat bar and not this bar, this shit feels heavy as F. And that's the thing, when you're switching over to any different kind of movement, the slightest variation can throw you off. And it does take time adapting. Like, it'll take me a few weeks. I'd say at least 2 weeks of doing squats with this bar under load before I feel comfortable. And you know what I'm talking about if you're used to doing heavy squats. If you haven't done it for a while, with a straight bar, it's gonna feel heavy, right? And if it feels heavy, that's shoot up your confidence. When you're doing straight bar heavy squats for weeks back to back to back, you can unrack anything and it'll kind of all feel the same to you. You'll feel very confident. That changes, of course, when you get into the hole and you have to drive out of that sticking point. But at the very least, if you're squatting with this bar week by week by week, no matter what weight you unrack, it's going to feel comfortable, right? Your body adapts very quickly to that. So, struggling this session, but we're still going to attempt an AMRAP as scheduled, depending on how this 462 goes with this weight. I'm going to throw some wraps on, see how everything feels. PR knee wraps available now. Sale ends tomorrow, guys. That means Adam has to get this video out tonight.
No pressure.
No pressure. Each set, when you're doing under 4 reps, as working sets, will feel better than the last if you're using the right percentage, the right working weight. For me, that's between 75 and 82%. As high as 92% for my AMRAP. You're an AMRAP, right? But because your CNS takes time to adjust to the heavy load, it's better you take a thorough warm-up. So John is having me do an AMRAP after for that reason. You're not going to fully fatigue yourself doing what I'm doing, for example, which is 4 sets of 2 at 75, 80%. You're going to have 5 reps left in the tank after each set, so you're far from exhaustion. But what that's doing is it's priming your CNS for that top set, that AMRAP. If you ever see me in the backstage of a powerlifting meet, we make very small jumps. Lots and lots of warm-up sets backstage before my first attempt to wake up that CNS.
I'm scared.
Yeah.
Huh? Over this? Come on. Really? I'll be falling that far.
You have big hands, though.
Big hands, yeah. Oh yeah. Let's see.
Let's see.
Those big hands.
Oh, yeah, they're huge.
Massive.
I mean, I have big fingers, just like your part here is bigger than mine.
And my fingers.
They're thicker, girthier.
And longer.
Yeah.
So, last working set, one more set of 2 reps.
Okay.
And then an AMRAP, which
What's AMRAP?
AMRAP means as many reps as possible. Yeah, so,
With that weight?
no, so I'm gonna go up to 6 plates and a 10. So I'm gonna make a bigger jump now as my CNS is warmed up after 3 sets of 2. I feel like primed now. And then my top set, depending on how that moves, I'd like to make it 7. That's roughly 92% of my 1 rep training max, which is 725.
So you have two sets more.
Yeah.
Now 2, and then the last one is AMRAP.
Yeah, the last one could be 2. So an AMRAP could be 3.
Okay.
Yeah, gotta be realistic. Also, I haven't been training with this bar in a long time. I've been training with a safety squat bar,
Yeah.
but when you make that switch, there's always going to be like a adaptation phase where the first few weeks feels a bit quirky and doesn't feel confident. By next
Unlike
week,
the safety bar, me, I keep falling off my shoe.
you're too petite, baby. You're too
Nobody ever
petite.
called me petite.
Never been with a behemoth, I guess.
Collar.
I hate thick legs on a man. Honestly, I do. Like, that's the first thing I told him, that my favorite thing about him, he doesn't have those bulky, thick legs.
So guys, this is why I don't train calves.
I
because I would be scaring her away, and she's a very
Yeah.
beautiful woman. Big calves are not all what it seems. Just because you get bigger calves does not mean you're gonna get a girl who likes it.
It makes you look shorter, stuffier. I don't like that look. It's not a good look.
This is for all you men out there with small calves.
Yeah.
Fear not. There are beautiful men out there who appreciate them. That's just the way they are.
Exactly. That extra 10%.
Seriously. It's good though. Good. It feels awkward on my back.
Huh?
It feels awkward. I haven't done this in a long time, so it just feels like
You haven't
Oh,
squatted
these
in a long
bars.
time.
I haven't squatted low bar with a low bar straight bar in a long time, so it feels awkward. But I feel strong regardless. So I'll go up top set, 720s, and if I can do that for 3, considering that I'm not very efficient with this bar right now, that's pretty good. Yeah, the last set felt very comfortable, no challenge at all. Each set actually feeling better than the last. That goes to show how important warming up the CNS is. And that matters whether you're on cycle or not. But see, when you're on cycle, you'll feel very powerful every day regardless, just because you have all these exogenous hormones in your body that are super elevated. So you'll feel as you don't need as much as a warm-up, right? And you'll be very antsy to get to that top set because you know you have a PR in you just about any time you walk into the gym. That's what trying to andro halo testing will do to you. Off cycle though, you know you can't pull one out of your ass any day of the week. You know you got to stick to the program, you got to do everything perfectly, and then maybe you'll PR, right? So it's a different game, and no doubt training off cycle is more difficult in that sense that your recovery isn't as good, so you need more time in between sessions, you need to make more adjustments, because if you're on cycle, you may think, 3 days, 4 days after deadlift workout, I'm ready to deadlift again, but off cycle, no way. Now I'm finding that I need about 10 to 14 days to recover between each deadlift and squat session, especially if I'm pushing boundaries like this today. But I'm gonna go to 710, which is 660, 300. Actually, it's 305 kg, because this is a 25 kg bar.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Only the top part, right?
Yeah.
That's enough, right, baby?
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. I'm lathered in it now. Look how much space there's left on the sleeve. And these are the thickest 20 kgs I've ever seen, aside from the ones you use for Olympic lifting, the
Bumpers.
rubber ones.
Yeah.
Well, these are actually rubber too, but they're not nearly as thick as ones you use for Olympic lifting that need to bounce. So with a standard bar, we literally can't even fit 7 plates with a clip up. With a regular bar we find around Buenos. So that's generally going to be the same bar you'll see in most commercial gyms. Chinese off-brand generic bar that costs like $100. No knurling, flimsy as fuck, bends left and right. I mean, for most people that's enough, because most people are not lifting more than 140 kg on anything, nor do they care to. It's just not a priority for most people. They want to look good. So that's why most gyms don't supply these kind of bars. This is a very niche sport. But I'd say you can fit 9 of these thick 20 kg plates on. And with the skinny 20 kgs, like for example, the ones you see in America, I think it's not a Vanco, but there's a brand that's like metal.
Nico?
No, it's 45-pound plates that are like everywhere. You can generally fit on a proper squat bar with regular metal plates, 10 plates each side. So you have a lot of room to grow with these bars. That's great.
Feel good.
That's good.
How was that?
That was comfortable, considering off cycle. that was 672, I believe. It's 300 kg with the regular power bar, 305 at 11. So, like, basically 672. My best with that is like maybe 12, like 10, not even 12, between 8 and 10, something like that. I'm not sure. But the point is, it's not very far from my all-time best. I'd say the difference is under 10%. So I'm very satisfied with that. Not to mention that I haven't squatted with this bar in several weeks. And to be honest, I could have done 2 more, but having not squatted with this bar in a while, it was too risky. I don't want to go to absolute failure. But that last rep wasn't much of a challenge. I've had much harder squats than that before and still finished them. Plus, I didn't take any rest pause at the top. Really great. I'm expecting, based off today's performance, to do something around 770, 800 for 1 rep. Something like that. But only if she's spotting my glutes. If she's not,
That gives you extra 10%.
yeah, that gives me extra 10%, exactly. So here we're doing the standing abductor machine. See, this is great when you're squatting, because when you're squatting and you're just on the eccentric portion of the movement, you want to have that strength and stability that your knees go out, all under control. And while your knees are going out, you're contracting your glutes. And you don't want to exaggerate that portion when you're squatting down, not too far out where you're going on the sides of your foot, just enough so that it's not going inside. So just slightly.
I did 20.
20, yeah?
Maybe this is too light.
Yeah, you did 20? So were you gifted with a big booty, or did you have to work for it? Ben. Were you gifted with a big booty, or did you have to work for it?
I was gifted.
Don't say that. Not the words and encouragement I was looking for.
It's actually both. It would be just big with no shape if I didn't work for it as well.
Yeah, so if you didn't work out, you think it was saggy, kind of flat? Yeah, so you have to work for it regardless.
Yeah, both actually. Yeah. Let me increase this one.
Oh yeah.
More than 70, I think.
What I would say is, my prep, I was doing bar down, and I was like, and then he only got flex. And I was out with him, it was like the first time.
Nothing to say, but enjoy the view. I'll say what I had to say.
And I was like, well, he moved it. As soon as we're over.
My chin don't go that way. Hey.
Just look down, actually.
going to Hollywood, man. More extensions, man.
You mean like when I'm up, go more up?
Yeah, your reps are a bit shallow. I want to see more extension.
Yeah.
If you're a bit kind of here, you'd be way out there.
Okay, I'll try
Yeah,
that.
eyes up here. Eyes up here. Oh, wow.
Even if I was without weights, I cannot push more.
No, you can't. It looks shallow, but it's not. It's full extension.
Like I feel the contraction actually.
Good. Just an excuse to grab the booty. Try it. Worse or better? Better?
Better, I think.
Yeah, that's good. Definitely. Actually, this is probably the best one. It's all of us.
Check. Oh, yeah. See if it works. Oh yeah, it's working.
I'm a glute expert, man. You need big glutes for a big squat deadlift. Booty. So that's a wrap for today's workout. What did you think about it? About squatting low bar?
I mean, I did the
Being
low
posterior
bar
dominant.
before, but it's just like I hate squats. I never felt it in my glutes. So maybe now I'll actually try putting more effort in squatting more often.
Yeah.
It still needs a lot of adjustment for me. But yeah, I think with practice.
Absolutely. It took me months before I felt comfortable because I, like many, started off with high bar squats.
Yeah, so you have to constantly think, push your hips backwards, look straight.
Yeah. I could tell it was very awkward for you, which is
Yeah.
normal, totally normal. We're not machines. But if you're open to coming to squat with me more often, I give it 3 weeks and I promise it'll feel like second nature.
Yeah.
And your booty potentially could be even bigger than it is now. Hard to believe. I doubt it, but there's maybe an extra 1% we can squeeze out of it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down to try that.
And guys, please follow My Fiancé, link down below.
By the way, this wasn't planned. We just came to the gym and he was like, "You're working out with me today," so.
Yeah, lately we go everywhere together, and I was like, no workout partner for myself today, neither for her. So wait, why don't we just train together? So that's what we did. And I did have a nice glute spot for glute activation during the squat, which is very interesting, felt very different.
But it did give you that extra 10%.
It gave me an extra 10% though. So TRT is one thing, TRT with shaveless hands helping you at the glute spot is another. And with that said, the Black Friday sale ends tomorrow, guys. Camo wraps and wrapping journal as low as $12, potentially the lowest cost on the market, okay? Likely you won't find cheaper wraps than this, but just because they're cheap doesn't mean they're bad. They're very effective. I've been using them for years now to smash countless bench PRs, squat PRs. PRLifestyle.com, 35% off.
And girls can use it. I've been using
The wrist wraps,
Yeah.
Yeah, she uses it, she loves it, and she's very picky.
And they're cute as well. You have camo, I love camo design. Yeah, I think them everywhere. So get your girl.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Christmas coming up,
Yeah.
she'll love it. On that note, see you guys soon. We'll be back at it again.